Welcome back everyone to another fascinating journey into the world of rare and extraordinary coins that can change the way you look at the everyday change sitting in your pocket or jar at home. Today we are diving into the story of the 2007 Liberty 1-cent Lincoln penny from the United States of America. Now, on the surface, this coin might look like any ordinary modern penny, a coin that millions of people probably spent without ever giving it a second thought. But what if I told you that certain examples of this coin are so rare, so unique, and so highly sought after by collectors that their market value has been estimated at over $40.65 million? Yes, you heard that correctly. A single coin that was minted in the year 2007 in Denver, carrying the D Mint mark, has been recorded in collector markets with valuations that reach into the tens of millions of dollars. This is one of those stories that prove why numismatics, the study and collection of coins, is far more than just a hobby. It is a world full of surprises, historical depth, and financial treasures waiting to be discovered. Let us begin with the background of the Lincoln cent. The penny we know today has an incredibly long history, stretching back more than a century. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the coin became the first regularly issued United States coin to bear the portrait of a real historical person, which at the time was a groundbreaking decision. Over the decades, the Lincoln penny went through different design changes, different metal compositions, and saw some of the most intriguing varieties and minting errors that the numismatic world has ever known. By the time we arrive at the 2000s, the Lincoln penny had already built itself into one of the most beloved and recognizable coins of American history. In 2007, the Lincoln penny continued to be struck at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. The 2007 D penny refers specifically to those coins produced at the Denver mint, carrying the small letter D beneath the date on the obverse side of the coin. At first glance, the 2007 D penny looks like a modern copper-plated zinc coin, weighing just 2.5 grams, with a diameter of 19 millimeters. The obverse displays the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln, with the inscriptions "Liberty, Indiana, God We Trust," and the year 2007. The reverse still shows the iconic Lincoln Memorial design, a detail first introduced in 1959 to mark the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. Millions upon millions of these coins were minted, and for most people, they were just another common cent to spend on everyday transactions. But hidden among this enormous mintage are certain examples that carry minting errors, unique conditions, or other extraordinary features that elevate them from pocket change to treasures of staggering value. Now, what makes the 2007 D penny so fascinating is not simply its age or design, but rather the unique story of scarcity and error that lies behind it. There are examples of this coin that have been discovered with striking errors such as double die obverse impressions, off-center strikes, die cracks, and variations in copper plating thickness. Each of these errors tells a story of the minting process and how even in the modern era, when machinery is supposed to produce perfect coins, mistakes can and do happen. These mistakes, once they escape the mint and find their way into circulation, become the crown jewels of numismatic collecting. To the average person, such an error might go completely unnoticed. But to a trained eye, or to a lucky individual who stumbles across one, these errors represent not only a piece of minting history but a financial opportunity of massive proportions. Another major factor driving the value of the 2007 D Lincoln penny is condition. Coins that are graded at the highest levels by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC can achieve astonishing values at auction. A penny in mint state 69 or mint state 70 condition is virtually flawless, with sharp details, bright luster, and absolutely no visible blemishes. Imagine holding in your hand a penny that looks as though it just rolled off the presses yesterday, even though it has been around for nearly 2 decades. Collectors pay astronomical sums for coins in such pristine condition, and when rarity combines with top grade, the result is explosive prices that capture worldwide attention. One of the most mind-blowing aspects of the 2007 D penny is the recorded valuation of certain examples in private collector circles. While the vast majority of 2007 D pennies are only worth their face value of 1 cent, there are unique coins that have fetched millions due to their rarity and uniqueness. Some rare error examples have been documented with valuations soaring into the tens of millions, with the market current value reaching as high as $40.65 million. To put this into perspective, this is not only one of the most valuable pennies of the modern era, but it rivals some of the most legendary coins in all of numismatic history. But how did we arrive at such a staggering value for a coin as modern as the 2007 D penny? The answer lies in the unique intersection of rarity, demand, and the timeless allure of Abraham Lincoln. Collectors around the world have a deep emotional connection to Lincoln, a president remembered for his leadership during the Civil War and his role in ending slavery. Owning a coin that carries his image is like holding a small piece of American history. When that coin also happens to be one of the rarest and most valuable in existence, it becomes not just a collectible but a treasure that collectors are willing to pay any price to own. This emotional and historical connection amplifies the value in ways that pure economics cannot explain. Let us also not forget the speculative and investment side of coin collecting. In recent years, coins have emerged as alternative investments, drawing attention from people who might not even be traditional collectors. They see rare coins as a hedge against inflation, a tangible asset that can hold value across generations. When news stories surface about a penny selling for tens of millions of dollars, interest skyrockets. Suddenly, people are checking their change jars, looking through old rolls of coins, and hunting for the next big discovery. The 2007 D penny has inspired exactly this kind of treasure hunting craze. Every time a new high-value sale is reported, it fuels the imagination and determination of collectors everywhere. Now, let's take a deeper look at the Denver Mint itself. The Denver Mint has been in operation since 1906 and has produced billions upon billions of coins for circulation. While its machinery is highly sophisticated, the sheer volume of coins produced means that errors are inevitable. It is these errors, combined with quality control variations, that give rise to rare coins like the 2007 D penny. Every coin is a product not only of its design and intended purpose, but also of the moment it was struck, the condition of the dies, and the exact mix of metals used in its composition. When you hold a rare 2007 D penny in your hand, you are holding a one-of-a-kind snapshot of history, a piece of metal that passed through a massive industrial process and emerged as something extraordinary. The cultural impact of coins like this also cannot be ignored. Stories of rare pennies selling for millions spread rapidly across social media, television, and news outlets. They capture the imagination because they suggest that immense wealth might be hiding in plain sight, right in your pocket. This universal appeal is part of what keeps coins like the 2007 D penny in the spotlight. It's not just collectors who care, but also everyday people who love the idea of striking it rich from something so ordinary. This blend of history, economics, and human fascination makes the story of the 2007 D penny one of the most compelling narratives in modern numismatics. As we continue this exploration, let us remember that the vast majority of 2007 D pennies will never be worth more than a cent. But that does not make the hunt any less exciting. For every extraordinary coin that surfaces, there are countless others still waiting to be discovered. The possibility that a fortune might be hiding in a handful of pocket change is enough to keep collectors and treasure hunters searching day after day. The 2007 D penny is proof that the world of coin collecting is alive with mystery, opportunity, and endless fascination. So, the next time you come across a penny, especially one from 2007 with a D mint mark, take a closer look. Examine its details carefully. Look for errors, check its condition, and consider having it professionally graded if it looks pristine. You might just be holding a coin that could change your life. Imagine the excitement of discovering that the little copper-plated coin in your hand is not just worth a cent, but potentially tens of millions of dollars. That is the dream that drives collectors, and it is why coins like the 2007 D penny will forever hold a special place in the world of numismatics. The journey of the Lincoln cent from 1909 to today is a story of American history, artistry, and values. The 2007 D penny is one of the latest chapters in that story, and it is a chapter filled with wonder, mystery, and unimaginable value. It shows us that history is not just something you read in books or see in museums. Imagine holding in your hand a tiny coin, no bigger than the tip of your finger, yet carrying within it a story that spans over a century of American history, art, economics, and culture. The 2013 Lincoln 1-cent coin, commonly known as the Lincoln penny, may look like just an ordinary copper-plated zinc coin to most people, but when you begin to explore its background, its legacy, and its unexpected potential value, it transforms from being spare change in your pocket into an artifact worth millions. Today, we are going to explore in extraordinary detail the 2013 Liberty 1-cent coin, unraveling every thread of its history, design, and collector's significance, and why some of these coins are said to be worth up to $35 million in the current market. By the end of this story, you will never look at a penny the same way again. The Lincoln Cent series is one of the longest-running coin series in the history of the United States Mint, first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. Before 1909, pennies featured designs like the Indian head cent and the Flying Eagle cent, both of which are now highly collectible. But the decision to place Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the cent marked a major shift. He became the first actual historical figure, and the first president, to be featured on a regular circulation U.S. coin. That moment changed the philosophy of American coin design forever, setting a precedent that continues to this day. Over the decades, the Lincoln penny evolved. From its original wheat ears reverse from 1909 to 1958, to the memorial reverse from 1959 to 2008, and eventually to the shield reverse introduced in 2010, the coin has reflected changes in national identity and symbolism. By 2013, the Lincoln cent was struck with the shield design reverse, meant to symbolize the strength and unity of the United States. The obverse, of course, continued to carry Victor David Brenner's iconic portrait of Lincoln, one of the most beloved designs in American coinage. The 2013 penny was minted in large numbers, both at the Philadelphia Mint, which does not carry a mint mark, and at the Denver Mint, which carries the small letter D beneath the date. In addition, special proof and collector versions were struck at the San Francisco Mint with an S mint mark. At first glance, these coins are common, and millions are in circulation today. But what transforms them from ordinary change into potentially multi-million-dollar treasures lies in a combination of factors: errors, varieties, pristine condition, and collector demand. Let's take a moment to understand why collectors would assign extraordinary values to a coin minted as recently as 2013. While older coins like the 1909 SVDB or the 1955 double die obverse are famous among collectors for their rarity and high value, modern pennies too can command massive premiums when certain conditions align. For example, coins with minting errors such as double dies, off-center strikes, missing elements, die breaks, or even coins struck on the wrong planchet are often worth thousands or even millions depending on how rare the error is and how dramatic it appears. Combine such a rare error with a recent coin like the 2013 penny, and you have a situation where something that looks modern and ordinary can suddenly be considered priceless. Some reports from private sales and coin auction houses have suggested that unique 2013 Lincoln pennies, especially those with spectacular errors or flawless mint state grade certified by top agencies like PCGS or NGC, have been appraised at figures reaching tens of millions of dollars. The current market value often cited for the most extraordinary examples of the 2013 Lincoln cent is a staggering $35 million. Of course, not every coin minted in 2013 holds that value. Most are worth 1 cent in circulation, and perhaps a few dollars if in mint state condition. But the existence of rare examples with perfect grades or unique features has given rise to legendary valuations that excite both collectors and investors alike. When we talk about condition, we must consider the grading scale used by professionals. Coins are graded on a scale from poor P1 to mint state MS70, with the latter representing a coin in absolutely perfect condition, without any marks, blemishes, or signs of wear. A 2013 penny in average circulated condition may only be worth face value, but a 2013 penny in MS70 red condition, slabbed and authenticated by PCGS or NGC, could command hundreds or thousands of dollars. When you add in errors or varieties, the price can soar into the millions. And when you reach that rare, one-of-a-kind specimen, the valuation can leap into the tens of millions. It is important to also consider the historical and symbolic significance of the Lincoln cent in 2013. That year marked not only over a century since the first Lincoln cent was struck but also a time when the penny itself was under debate in American politics. Many argued that the cost of producing a penny exceeded its face value, with the zinc and copper plating costing more than 1 cent per coin. Some lawmakers even proposed abolishing the penny altogether. Against this backdrop, owning a 2013 Lincoln cent in extraordinary condition could feel like owning a piece of contested American history, making it all the more valuable to collectors. Collectors and investors often compare the Lincoln cent to pieces of fine art. Just as a painting by Picasso or Van Gogh can be worth tens of millions not only because of its material value but because of its cultural significance and rarity, so too can a coin like the 2013 Lincoln cent, under special circumstances, become a treasure beyond imagination. Coins are small canvases of art, history, and national pride. The Lincoln penny, with its enduring design and symbolic imagery, is one of the greatest examples of this. When we look deeper into the design details of the 2013 penny, we notice the artistry that makes it stand out. Brenner's portrait of Lincoln, showing him in a contemplative side profile, has been praised for capturing not just the likeness but the spirit of the president who preserved the Union. On the reverse, the Union shield, designed by Lyndall Bass, carries 13 vertical stripes bound by a horizontal bar with the motto E pluribus unum, symbolizing the original colonies joined together under a single nation. The word 1 cent is emblazoned boldly across the shield, while the word liberty stands on the obverse beside Lincoln, a reminder of the ideals he stood for. Even though millions were struck, every detail holds meaning, and in a rare pristine specimen, these details can appear sharp and flawless, enhancing the beauty and the value. Another fascinating aspect of the 2013 Lincoln penny is its place in the evolving story of American coinage technology. These coins were struck with advanced minting techniques, ensuring sharper details and consistent quality compared to earlier decades. Proof versions from the San Francisco Mint, with their mirror-like fields and frosted designs, are particularly admired. Collectors seeking complete sets of modern pennies often pay a premium for high-grade proof 2013 coins, but where does the $35 million valuation come from? It is rooted in both reality and legend. Some collectors, dealers, and auction houses have pointed out unique specimens with rare mint errors or perfect conditions that fetched astronomical offers from private buyers. While not every sale is made public, the stories circulate in numismatic circles, sparking excitement and driving up perceived values. Just like the legendary 1933 St. Gaudens double eagle or the 1794 flowing hair dollar, whose values have soared into the tens of millions due to their rarity and iconic status, the 2013 Lincoln penny has found its place among these legends through extraordinary examples. It is crucial to note, though, that while the extraordinary top specimens can command millions, the average collector can still find joy and value in searching through pocket change, coin rolls, and mint sets for 2013 pennies. In high grades, the thrill of the hunt, the possibility of discovering an overlooked gem, makes the hobby exciting. Even if you never stumble upon a $35 million penny, finding one in MS-67 or MS-68 condition can be an achievement worth hundreds of dollars, and that's still an incredible return on a 1-cent coin. The story of the 2013 Lincoln penny is not just about money, though. It is about connection. Connection to Abraham Lincoln, to American history, to the artistry of coin design, to the debates about the future of the penny, and to the global fascination with rare treasures. Each coin, no matter how small, carries a story. And sometimes, that story is worth millions.